The Nigerian Stock Exchange All-Share Index is marginally up by 0.09% to 37,046.43 points. Now, the gainers are WAPCO, Portland Paint, First Bank of Nigeria, Life Stocks, Dangote Sugar, while some of the laggards are UBA and Qtix. While Abdul Garba, an analyst with investment research at Don Lauren Merrifield, is on the line to talk us through what's going on at the markets. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Abdul. What's happening on the market right now?
It went up about 100, less than 100 basis points, but just between 37,015 and it peaked at 37,045. A slight move there, largely driven by movements of these stocks you just named, WAPCO, Presco, Dangote Sugar, which have ebbed their early gains.
All right. Now, the market was up 2.2% last week. I mean, also positive so far this week. Do you think this can be sustained, especially in light of recent volatility?
Well, that depends, because we do see that the banking sector especially has, to an extent, lagged the rest of the index in terms of performance, or where they're expected to be prior to the release of the next results. So we see a cheaper banking sector relative to the rest of the index for now.
Okay. Well, okay, like you just mentioned the banking sector. Well, let's remain on that space. Now, its index was the only sector that closed down yesterday by 0.13%. Now, having talked to some analysts, many of them allude to the fact that we should be seeing investors taking positions ahead of the second quarter release. What's your outlook for the sector, as well as expected earnings?
Okay, in terms of earnings, I'll go with earnings first. We have had two significant rallies, starting at the beginning of the year, ending toward the first quarter release, and then after the release, banks sort of adjusted to the impact and all that. The sector adjusted to all the impact of the announcements, and all expectations revisited. We had another, so to speak, rally in that adjustment, and then we've had some capitulation in the index level for that the second time in anticipation of results. So we maybe this second round, the second round appears a bit too hard, and we could see some upward adjustment, albeit the level of the results expected.
All right. Well, last week your stock pick was Skybank. Are you going to maintain that this week?
Yeah, sure. Maintain that on Skybank, although we believe there could be more momentum as Zenith Bank's price rise. So far, we've seen some rally there, and we'll probably see that objective achieved faster with Zenith than with Skybank. But we have Zenith, Skybank, and Sterling. We're positive about these ones.
All right, well, let's look at insurance stock. What's your outlook for those stocks this week?
No, the insurance stocks.
Yeah.
There's not. Well, it's not easy to. I don't have an outlook for that.
Okay. Well, we'll just look at the maintain with the banking sector. But let's look at your outlook going forward for the rest of the week. How do you see the market performing? Or basically, what traders say it's pretty flat today. Do you think it will pick up before Friday?
Well, yeah. To the extent we have expectations on the banking sector.
Okay.
No, not much. We could see some of the movements. Some of the movements we've seen recently, rather dramatic ones, so to speak. We had the index moving slightly below 1% or a full percent over the last week. We could see that taper into higher levels for the next week.